and what we founded Marou on, making something in country by elevating what is found here, because people weren't making chocolate with Vietnamese cacao. People didn't know about Vietnamese cacao. So yeah, the quality is really about the special character. There's a special taste. The number one priority is that we're adding more stores. So we're increasing our reach, if you will. We want to get closer to Vietnamese. So we're extending into new neighborhoods, into new cities. We would basically go to a farmer and they would show us for example, their 10 bags of cacao. And we only needed one. That was enough, So we would test each bag and we would take the best one.
Đây là The Insight, nơi trò chuyện cùng những người chủ doanh nghiệp và chuyên gia đầu ngành để cùng trao đổi và phân tích về những vấn đề đang nổi lên trên thị trường kinh doanh và đầu tư. Tôi là Lan Anh và khách mời ngày hôm nay của chúng ta là ông Vincent Mourou, CEO công ty Marou Chocolate.
Xin chào Việt Nam.
Hi Vincent, glad to have you here. How are you today?
I'm good. Happy to be here with you this morning.
Yeah, well, thanks to your time working in Hollywood, I suppose you will be familiar with the camera. So our podcast today, you will be comfortable to share about your story in order to inspire Vietnamese cacao farmers, fermenters, and also chocolate consumers, okay?
Sure. Well, it's one thing to be on this side of the camera than on the other side of the camera.
Yeah. Well, so first of all, I would like to congratulate Marou on being recognized as the best chocolate by the New York Times. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it took a few years to get that, but of course that was an amazing consecration for us, and is definitely one of the highlights in the many years that we've been making chocolate.
It made me really feel really proud to know that you call Marou a Vietnamese company, though it was founded by two foreigners. Yeah. However, I know that before founding Marou, you and Sam too had no experience in this field. So, do you believe your own recipes or Vietnamese cacao beans earned you this title?
Absolutely. So, I mean, when we started, we were chocolate enthusiasts, but we had never made chocolate, and we were in Vietnam, and we believed that we could maybe make a very good chocolate. And so we started to learn, and we started getting cacao from all these different provinces within Vietnam. And we did things methodically. We had a journal, like a science experiment. We only changed one variable at a time. So we knew what was responsible for what, if there were changes. And so we did 53 tests.
53.
And each test took 3 days. And we were very, very diligent about it. And we finally got to a taste that we liked. But it took a lot of experimenting. Yes, it's the cacao that we were finding was very interesting to us. And we thought that if it was interesting to us and we were excited about it, then, the rest of the world would be excited about it as well as, people here in Vietnam. So, that was our belief, and what we founded Marou on, making something in country by elevating what is found here, because people weren't making chocolate with Vietnamese cacao. People didn't know about Vietnamese cacao. In Vietnam, really, it was not very well known, and definitely abroad. So when we introduced Marou to the world, people were very surprised to have cacao coming from Vietnam. And then, of course, even more surprised of the quality that they were tasting. So yeah, the quality is really about the special character. There's a special taste, and every origin and variety. So if you couple an origin taste, and a variety, you get a different combination, a different taste, different character. So the one in Vietnam is typically fruity and has some spice as well, like cinnamon and pepper notes, and then you have sometimes notes of coffee in there, and then different variety of fruits. So from red fruits to yellow fruits like plums.
But do you like take any chocolate cooking classes or something like that? Because you had no experience in this field, right?
No, we were in Vietnam. There was no way to do that. And we thought, well, we're not idiots. Maybe with some time, some tools, and some technique, we'll get somewhere. And so we were being very resourceful. We actually made some of our own machines in the beginning. And we still make some of our own machines, but because at that time there weren't small machines just to test chocolate making like we needed it. So we had to find our own solutions, and we kept things very simple, which I think is very important when you start something, especially something very new. You should try to focus very narrowly, and work on that and make that the best you can.
Yeah, sure. But looking back, what was exactly your and Sam's dream when you both founded Marou?
Well, the dream was really to make the best chocolate possible in country, and to bring something new and exciting to the world. I think we had spent we had a previous life, in different careers. And I think this was a chance for us to express ourselves as well. So express our values. And when Sam and I realized that we had shared values, that was a very exciting time and a very important time for us. Because when we realized that we had shared values, we took those values and we placed them to create Marou. And as you go along the journey of entrepreneurship and having a company, there are many, many challenges that one faces. And if you have those values and they're clear and you keep them alive, then you can get through a lot of challenges, in my opinion.
Yeah, sure. However, I have to admit that working in the agriculture sector is not easy, right? Especially in a developing country like Vietnam.
Yeah. So, nothing is easy. Anyone who thinks anything's easy is grossly mistaken. But agriculture is a challenge, but it's a really it's an amazing thing because it involves nature and involves people. And the combination of those two make it for very exciting and challenging relationship. And for us, we've been through a lot over the years. Obviously, we've been through droughts. We've been through salinity issues in the Mekong. We've been through price drops in cacao, unpopularity of cacao. But we have also been through some positive, really positive times. Where people are actually, like now, for example, people are more and more interested in cacao because they see it as a really great crop to balance other crops they may have, or to intercrop with other crops to increase their revenue. And also cacao is it's not such an intensive crop, so it has a lower stress on the environment, which is nice. So we can create natural environments that are really beneficial for us as humans on this planet. So, environments that are regenerative, environments that have biodiversity, where we don't have to really, how would you say it, negatively affect.
However, I think that over 10 years ago, not many farmers realized that they were still working in traditional ways, and also the quality of the cacao beans. I don't think it is as high as now. So how did you and Sam persuade farmers to partner with you from the very beginning?
Well, in the beginning, it was not very complicated, because what happened is we didn't need much cacao. We were tiny. We started with nothing, right? So we would basically go to a farmer, and they would show us for example, their 10 bags of cacao. And we only needed one. That was enough, So we would test each bag, and we would take the best one. And we would pay a very high price for that best bag of cacao. So that's kind of how we started. So the farmers, it was amusing when they would see us arrive at their farm, They thought it was funny. And actually, it was funny because we were the only ones tasting it.
Really?
Yeah, we cared about the taste of the cacao. The other buyers, they would not taste it. They would just look at it and maybe, weigh it and things like that, but they wouldn't actually taste it. And for us, they saw that we actually just cared about the taste. So they thought that was quite amusing. Anyway, so we developed these relationships from day one that we still have today. So we actually grew Marou based on a gentleman's agreement. The farmers trusted that we would come back every month, and every month we would buy more. So they could actually literally see the growth of Marou in their warehouse, because we would just be buying more and more and more. And over the years, we'd also worked more and more on quality with them. So we would help, and we still do. It's still a large part of what we do. We help them improve the quality. So we would be able to make an award-winning chocolate, and then we would also be able to pay them a very good price, compared to the market price for the cacao.
Yeah, I found in your report in 2020 that your average price was over 4,300 US dollars per metric tons.
Yeah,
very higher than the average commodity in the market.
Yeah, it's higher, but we also are choosy, so we don't take everything. But with our best fermenters, we take 95 to almost 100% of what they produce. So and that's the thing is we're choosy, but we put also an effort to make sure that we can buy almost all of their cacao, and that's our relationship with them. It's kind of our promise. It's like, okay, yeah, we're choosy, but we'll help you get there. And that works for us.
But relationships have to build by communication. But how did you communicate with them? With, I think, language barriers?
Yeah. So in the very beginning, we had, we would bring a young staff member, and they would help translate for us. So that was very important. And we were learning as we were going as well. So it was very interesting.
But now, can you speak any Vietnamese word?
Chup chup. I know some of the cacao, like chat lung, quality, just important words that I have to get across. But we had so much to do. Unfortunately, my Vietnamese hasn't really improved that much over the years. Although Sam and I did make a valiant effort in the very beginning. We took 4 months of very intensive Vietnamese classes at the university. And that was that was very important for us because it gave us the foundation, right, in the language. But we knew that in order to operate, as a business, we had to have staff members who spoke English or French.
But talking about the farmers, how have their life changed over the years working with you?
Well, we see it. I mean, it's the wonderful thing is it's very visible. The positive changes. So you see, they invest more in the cacao. They also their homes have gotten bigger.
Yeah.
Some of them have automobiles. Their children have gone on to university. Things like that. Those are clear signs of being able to positively impact people and the communities, not just the fermenters, but also their community. So we operate more and more on a community level now. So we hold farmer meetings. So we're able to assemble the community and really get to not only share what we do and also help them with some trainings, but we also get to listen, to hear what they're facing. And that part is really, really the most important part for us, is to know what's going on over there. If they have problems with disease, productivity, the environment, the weather, if they're not happy with the price, whatever it is, because fertilizer prices may just go up, and we need to know about those things so we can react and help. That's really, I often say, we're nothing without them. Without the cacao farmers, Marou would not be here. So they're our most important partner, and in a way, every year we get more and more serious about it. And so we have a really nice team of passionate, young, smart, dynamic Vietnamese. That really bring a lot of passion, to working with farmers, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, last Friday I went to a province to look at areas where we're not buying now, where farmers are getting a very low price and they're discouraged, and so we really want to be able to step in and bring something positive to that community, So we have still a lot of work to do on many levels.
Yeah, I believe after this podcast, more and more farmers will come to find you and ask for cooperation with Marou.
Yeah, nice. I mean, our door is open. We pride ourselves in the relationships that we keep. We work with really great fermenters and farmers, and we want to work with even more. So it makes it really exciting when you are able to work with someone and there's an understanding, and there's an understanding of where we're going with what we do. What Marou is about. And so there's this trust that's there, and a reputation now, of course. After 11 years, I think we have a very strong reputation in the cacao community.
Yeah, actually, relationship with the farmers will drive Marou's ahead so much. But until now, we just talk about the farmers and the cacao beans.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the final products. The market. As you said before, actually, nowadays we can see Marou products in many places in the world. Yeah. How do you assess Marou's position in the global market right now?
Well, we're a small chocolate maker, but we're a very respected chocolate maker for the quality of the chocolate, and not just the chocolate, but also the experience. So the experience starts with the visual, the design, the identity of Marou, of Vietnam that's on there. The paper, the printing, how you open the bar, all these things are part of what we've brought to chocolate. We're very small chocolate makers. So yeah, we're positioned quite premium. And because of the experience that we are able to offer in the quality of the chocolate, the way it's presented and everything. So, we're not in supermarkets, we're in very nice shops, premium shops where other very nice products are presented. So we bring a really nice image of what we do because we're in nice places. So yeah, we're in many countries. We're in some of the best stores in the world, like Le Bon Marché in Paris. Some specialty shops in the US, London, and Sweden, and Japan. So we want to bring more of our chocolate to more people. And that's something that we're trying to do more of, first in Vietnam. So we've created a new bar, which is called the Marou bar. It's a small format, which is more fun on the go. You can put it in your bag, and it has nuts and fruits and what we call inclusions. So it's a little bit less niche, a little bit less just dark chocolate, right? So the taste is a little bit more accessible for people who aren't necessarily dark chocolate purists. So we're just trying to bring people a little bit closer to us by making the chocolate a little bit easier to appreciate. And so that's something that is very important for us in Vietnam, but also abroad. I think there's room for those type of really nice products that are a little bit more accessible and fun than the really beautiful chocolate bar that people love to buy, love to gift. That sells for quite a high price abroad because we sell at a certain price, but then it goes through customs, a distributor, a retailer. So on the foreign market, a Marou bar, a bar of Marou chocolate is pricey. Yeah.
But I have to admit that Westerners are big fans of dark chocolate, which is hard to see in Vietnam, right? So what is the challenge when you change to focus on the domestic market?
So, the challenge is taste, right? So we have to meet the Vietnamese, right? With something that is a bit more accessible for them. So as I said, mixing fruits and nuts and things like that, and even popped rice. And it's also, we have a coconut milk chocolate, which is really nice, creamy and more gentle. And now in the last year and a half, we've introduced a milk chocolate by finding a beautiful milk from New Zealand, because in Vietnam, we can't find a really nice milk powder. So we have to go abroad for that. It's one of the only ingredients actually that we source from outside of Vietnam. And we have a new release coming up, which we're very excited about, which is the Café Sua bar. So the Café Sua bar for us, honestly, I think it's one of the best things we've ever made. And at the same time, I see Vietnamese get really excited about it because it has the ability to be chocolate, but at the same time bring a very kind of familiar taste, which is the coffee and the milk. So we're really excited to be able to release that. We have it in our stores, but we haven't fully released it in other retail shops. That's next. But yeah, those type of efforts are really important to us. Yeah. Because we realized, especially during COVID, when we were in Vietnam and we were shut, the world was closed, right? Yeah. We couldn't really travel or anything. We really felt that we need to do a better job to connect with our Vietnamese customers on ways to make our chocolate more accessible.
And besides from the products, I can see that recently you launched a monthly pastry class named Academy Marou, and also with this F&B store chain named Maison Marou. Yeah. Are they part of your strategy to penetrate the domestic market?
Yeah, so our strategy has always been about bringing different dimensions to what is Marou. So we started off as a small chocolate maker making dark chocolate from Vietnam. And then 5 years later, we opened Maison Marou, which is our store concept, which was the first of its kind in the world. Yeah. Where in one shop, you can experience everything about chocolate, from seeing, the dry bean, the beans roasted, the grinding of the beans, the making of the chocolate, and then working with the chocolate, and then making pastries from the chocolate, and then making the drinks from the chocolate, all in one space. So it's actually a mini chocolate factory and a chocolate shop and a cafe all in one. And that we were the first to do that. And it was successful for us, quite successful. So that was a whole nother dimension that we added, right? And now we added recently Academy Marou, which is another dimension, which is the dimension of being able to share and to share how, fine pastries and chocolate is made. And it's a really nice experience that we offer, and we're very proud of it. It's done to the highest level. And so it's not, how would you say it, something that we, it's not going to be one of the most important parts of our business. It's not the point, but the point is to add this other dimension where people can come for another experience, because we're all about experience. So the shop is built around an experience to see, to learn, to taste, to smell. Like right now, we have all these great smells, right, from the kitchen. So that's all part of the experience. So the other part of the experience was actually teaching. So sharing how fine pastries and how chocolate is made. We also give tasting classes on chocolate. So we want to educate. Make it fun, when I say educate, it's not a classroom, but people definitely learn a lot about chocolate, and they understand chocolate in a whole other way. So yeah, it's really exciting for us. And then the next level for us is we want to create a chocolate competition. So a chocolate pastry competition. Oh. Yeah.
So you teach them
next year, not this year.
Next year. So can you review a little bit about this competition?
Well, we want to invite young talent, to showcase what they do, their talent, to come here and showcase their skills. And then we have a winner, and one of the great things is with Marou over the years is we've been able to create friendships with some of the best chocolate makers and pastry chefs in the world. And so we can bring the best here to look at the Vietnamese talent. I think that's really exciting. So anyway, that's next year. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing at a time.
So excited to see it. Yeah.
You know, one of the things that we always, you know, we do is we don't move too fast because we really are quality focused. So we want to do things right and to the highest standard. And so, you know, it's not really a race. A race towards what? You know, no. It's a journey, and we enjoy the journey that we're on. Yeah.
But in 2023, what are your top 3 priorities for Marou?
So one of the number one priority is that we're adding more stores. So we're increasing our reach, if you will. We want to get closer to Vietnamese. So we're extending into new neighborhoods, into new cities, and bringing our experience to people. So that's really the number one focus for 2023.
How many stores you want to expand in this year?
So we are going to have 18.
18.
Yeah, and we have 3 different sizes. We have the flagship, the large size, and we have the cafe, which is a more medium size, and then we have the more corner size, which are like in shopping malls and things like that. But the you know, the challenge is really to bring everywhere the same quality. Yeah, I mean, of service and of everything, of experience.
Yeah, and the number 2 priority. What is the number 2 priority?
Well, we also have we're expanding our factory, modernizing it. So that we can employ better techniques and just improve our craft. So that's another key priority. You know, and then of course the sourcing. You know, the sourcing for us is very important. So even getting even better there, expanding as well, our sourcing, going into new areas, as I mentioned before, also developing cacao. So we have partnerships with landowners. So we partner with them on organic cacao projects, agroforestry projects in areas that have never had cacao, but need like an economic boost, if you will. So we're going in there with our teams to set things up, and yeah, just a lot of things there.
Yeah, hope you can do them all in this year. Right? So,
yeah.
But looking back on the whole journey, it's been over 10 years, right? Since you came to Vietnam as a traveler, and now you are an entrepreneur. Yeah, and I think it is totally different from the day you were in the US, and you also built your family here. Yeah, so from the very beginning, do you believe that Vietnam and cacao beans were your destiny?
Oh, for sure. Vietnam has offered me everything, you know. So I'm very grateful for this chance, you know, to do something meaningful. I think for myself and also for others. You know, that's really been important for me, is to bring something positive from the first day. And that's what we built Marou on, you know, bringing something really positive to Vietnam. Because the thing is, when we started Marou, chocolate was not made in the country of origin. You know, so cacao would leave and never come back. So there was no value added, right? So there was only 3 or 4 chocolate companies at the time who were able to do that in country. So it was very, very rare. And we did it. And now it's there are many, many companies doing what we're doing, you know, and so it's exciting. I mean, it's changed how people experience chocolate, you know. It's changed how growing countries see themselves. So it's exciting, and it's brought obviously increased revenue to hundreds of farmers, in Vietnam. So yeah,
I believe you're on the way to make all your dream come true. Yeah, hope you can maintain your passion to work with the farmers to enhance the Vietnamese agricultural products and also the Vietnamese economy. Yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing the best we can, and there's still a lot more room for us, of course, and we're going to be bringing more of Marou experiences to the world.
So thanks so much for your time today. Yeah. Wish you
Great.
success and health. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It's been
thank you.